So I'm giving her a break. Skirt, skirt. Oh, here's a bump.
I'm gonna flip. I knew it.
Allow myself to reintroduce myself. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Hello, how you doing? No, I'm not a newbie. In fact, check the discography a lot.
All right, guys, we are on our way to a meeting. As you can tell, we are in the train, and we're headed to a meeting with a possible client. I've been talking to this guy for a minute. He works in a app guard, like a cybersecurity company, and they're looking forward to create content. He already has a pretty big following on IG, which makes me believe that he's probably put money into marketing, but he hasn't put much money into content creation. But I've been talking to him about taking like content creation more seriously, about hiring a creator, aka hiring me, and he's been so busy that it's been impossible to reach out to him. The meeting is in about 30 minutes, so I'm really trying not to be late because it's really hard to get in contact with this guy. But you guys have an inside scoop on like how I talk to clients, like what this process looks like. Next stop is Marcy, 3:57 p.m. We'll be fine. Yesterday's vlog was long. Yesterday we went to Pride, and by the time you guys are watching this, hopefully it already went up.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on.
Mia, you're already here? Best intern ever.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good.
You gonna try to be like, oh, sorry, man, I'm just so busy. Psych. We came to you, son. I was gonna let you escape. How you doing?
Good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good.
Okay.
But I think that we want to start doing probably multiple vlogs a month. And when we say the podcast, we want to do video. Like we want to record it obviously as a thing that gets heard.
Yeah.
But we want to turn it into something that's on YouTube like once or twice a month.
In creating this brand, ideally it feels like, again, we're focusing more of what you do. I think in developing this brand, I think what we need to think about is how do we want to look in other people's eyes? Like you're saying, I mean, it sounds like you guys don't have many competitors, and it sounds like you guys are good at what you do. So it's just a matter of, you know, get me in there as much as possible, and let's take advantage of as much as possible. Obviously, when I hear things like, you know, 2 videos at least a month or 1 podcast a month, I can just create so much with so little.
Right.
It's gonna be a matter of, I think I've told you this before, but I think it's gonna be a matter of like picking and choosing because there's gonna be so much to create. You know, photos can be graphics, audio can be podcasts,
Right.
Video can be podcast and posts.
Your boss should be giving you a raise that you're like becoming an influencer and you work for him.
Right.
But just people are so scared of the misunderstanding.
Well, look at Elon when he was on Elon Musk when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
That was awesome.
Like, and he got so much shade for like 3 weeks, and then it all went away. Right? Like, but like, so how many people are like, oh, I can't believe that guy was willing to do that. He knew. He knows better than anybody. Like, he's gonna get some shade, and then he's gonna go back to being Elon, and no one's gonna fuck with him at all. Right? But it's hard when the majority is like, you shouldn't be doing that. You should check with people first.
Yeah. If you do some outlandish thing like what Elon did, and you get a ton of negative, superficial attention, they're gonna be like, wait a minute. The more you dig about this guy, you're like, oh shit, he's a really awesome guy. It's just free attention, free marketing, like free word of mouth marketing, which I feel like is the best kind because it's like referral type marketing. I know that like the culture I'm diving into with like doing freelance work for like higher and bigger names. I know I'm getting into like this like, you know, button up tie like space. So I kind of just try to be more of myself, which is great because, you know, you get people looking at me. Like I had this one client, this real estate client. He was trying to get me to dress
before I
up.
forget, I would say it's almost like the inverse of what you just said, though. I think that the button-up tie space feels the pressure to trying to get more into what you're doing. Like as somebody who's on that side, like I feel like, you know, Morgan Stanley's trying to be cool now, and these big companies are trying to be more trendy, and the only way to do that is to get down to that level.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what's great about it, and that's why I like it so much, is because all I have to do is be myself.
Like, I would love to full-time do what you do. I just earlier on carved out this different path where I got super excited about other things, and but having done everything from a little bit of my own editing to silly stuff, to even like my story about how I met Gary is hysterical. But making that person you're talking about, just getting them to do it a couple times, then creates that spark that then they're like, oh, it's really not that hard.
That's what I did with Claude.
But getting them on that line is rough for everybody.
That's what I did with Claude. Like, you know Claude Silver, right?
Yeah.
So it was super challenging with her because she had a lot of insecurities growing up. And it's like, again, it's like, for me, I know it's easier when they're older, but when they're older, sometimes it's just that those insecurities have more armor because they've had more time to like really just package them up. But then once we got to that point, and I just kept asking her more and more personal questions, and she's like, "Are you sure that's gonna be good?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's gonna be amazing." And she kept asking me, "Are you sure that's gonna be good?" Eventually, it got to the point where I'd be recording a podcast, and she would say something, and then she'd mute herself. She'd look at me, and she'd go, "That's great." She's like, "This is gonna," she goes, "This is gonna be an amazing IG clip." She's like, "Save that, save that." I'm like, and I just get so proud because it went from like being super nervous, super reluctant to like, "Are you sure that's gonna work?" to like, "Holy shit!"
Right.
The more personal I get, that's the shit people want to hear.
Yeah.
Which gets me so excited. I just feel so excited because it feels like I'm like a parent of these brands. You know, it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We are going to pick up a free chair.
That's what this is for?
Yep. For me. You thought it was for you?
No, I didn't think it was. I didn't know it was an editing chair.
Yeah, it's like an office chair.
I didn't know that.
It's for like sitting at a desk.
I thought you were just getting like more chairs for the house.
Hey. All the way up. Yo, we're going all the way up. It's a metaphor for what we did today. Are you motivated, Mia?
I'm motivated.
Oh, I'm so motivated right now. So freaking hard being perfect. Life is so easy. I love free shit.
A lot of people knew me from back when I was honestly a prodigy, but who's keeping track? It's hard to be mad. It's hard not to laugh at all these artists out here posing like they color me bad. It's all just a fad. I promise that it won't last. I see it in the rear view as I step on the gas. Vroom, vroom. So make room, make way. All these fake Drakes taking up space. I don't care what none of y'all say. Which one of you first place? I'm running my own lane, own pace. And who said this was a race?